Hey everybody, it's your old pal Robert from ThrillRide.com here. How are you doing? So I am in Buellton, California today, and as you can hopefully see behind me, in front of Anderson's, a legendary restaurant that anybody who's driven up and down the coast of California will know for its pea soup. Pea soup is kind of a landmark here in Buellton, but we're not here for pea soup or Anderson's. I'm seeing two places today, and the first is a place called Mendenhall's Museum. I'm not going to say too much more about it right now, but it's an amazing place. And if you're ever in Buellton, you're going to want to check it out. All right, here we go. Just walked in to Mendenhall's Museum of Gas and Petroleum. Goodness, look at this place. So incredible. So hi, yeah, please tell us who you are and what you all doing here.
We live here.
So your father started this collection, correct?
Well, pretty much. We had a service station on the corner. I've lived here all my life. So I lived in town when there was 200 people. Now there's 6,200. So my dad was like the original American picker. But basically, this was our wrecking yard lot, and we had a service station here. So gasoline memorabilia is kind of what we like to collect. And my wife and I had a Chevron station for 25 years, so gas and oil is kind of in our blood. But
I'll say.
She's going to give you all the history and show you around, and it's a pretty extensive collection.
Oh wow. Oh, this is incredible. Beautiful. Every surface has got something going on here. This is just fantastic. Oh, love it. So when did this collection all start?
Mark's dad collected for about 50 years. He, like Mark said, had the service station, and he sold it in '78 and went out on the road being a real collector. He would be gone 3 and 4 months at a time and didn't come home till his trailer's axles were bent because it was so full of stuff. He went everywhere.
Oh man.
And we've been collecting for probably 35 years. So there's about 85 years worth of collection here.
Ah, great. Okay, so that's the genesis of all of this.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Look at
So
that.
Richfield is Mark's favorite collectible because that's what his dad collected.
Sure.
Or, he grew up pumping Richfield gas.
And when
towing.
And when did that gas station open?
He came down here in 1959. She usually gets a cookie at the beginning of a tour, and she barks until she gets it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, now it's a real tour.
This room. This was the original building of the property. And then the Boy Scouts met here, and when Mark was a little boy, this was a Baptist church.
Oh my goodness.
So now it's basically our family room.
That's
Christmas
awesome.
and Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff here.
Oh, and the casino, what is it, the
That's
roulette
ceiling
wheel fan?
There's an arrow on one of the fan blades, so you place your bets, pick your number, turn off the fan, and where the arrow stops, it's winner.
That's great. And you had a custom jigsaw puzzle made
Yeah, we
too.
do. A lady named Linda Berman came here. She's a photographer and took all these pictures, and they made a puzzle out of one of the pictures. Then these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
We actually took the Mustang out yesterday to a little, like, show and shine kind of thing.
Nice, nice.
Derelict, sort of.
That's right, and you host a kind of event here every April, correct?
Yeah. We do all kinds of events. We do weddings and funerals and birthdays, anniversaries, car clubs, fun. The best parties we had was for the Beatniks of Coolsville. They were a car club, and it was their 20th anniversary. The day after their party, George, the guy that put it on, called and said, "I had 2 complaints about the camera in the bathroom."
That's awesome.
It's not real.
So this was an LP jukebox from Anderson's Pea Soup Restaurant?
We played 78s. So it was the background music. I didn't know how it worked. We did a lunch and barbecue one time for a Rolls Royce club, and one of the guys was into these things. He's got one about this big that plays 48s. He said this would be side A, that would be A and B, and that would be B. So you'd program the songs you wanted to hear, turn
And
it
then it
on,
would go sequentially
and it would
through.
start here and play all the A's and come back and play all the B's, and it would do it for 24 hours. But this one, it's like the dirty oil goes in here and the clean oil comes out here.
Oh, fantastic.
It's pretty cool, huh?
That's brilliant, yeah. I've never seen that before.
I know, neither did we.
That's great.
This picture is when 101 went through town. So there were 8 lanes of traffic, the 4 center lanes with 101, and then the outside with the, I don't know what it was called then.
Boy, it has sure changed.
Yes, yes it has. And obviously the sign is just for kicks and giggles.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Oh,
This is Jack's
look at
last
this.
dragster. It was rebuilt in 1996 because it went to Formosa for the nostalgic drags,
Oh, cool.
but they didn't let him run it because it didn't pass tech.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That is too bad.
So that turned out to be a tackle fest.
And has it always been a pea soup
They
supporter?
sponsored all of Jack's race cars.
Oh, right. There's the Great Richfield sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I call this Smart Starter Kit because we had them around the house at one time.
Right, the Richfield Shrine.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
But it's cool because it shows the things that oil companies did, not just gas and oil. All the different things they made and the giveaways.
Sure.
Yeah.
All the promo stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this little gas pump. Look at that.
Yeah, that one's going to stay like that just because of the decal on it.
Right.
100 octane.
Incredible. And what is this device here?
This one
Yeah.
is a gas pump. That's before gas stations. It would have been at a hardware store or a drugstore. They would have pulled it out to your car and pumped your
Oh.
gas. Our daughter Misty does tours, and she had somebody, I think they were from Wyoming, and they said in '44 they made their license plates out of soy, which was fine, except the farmers complained because the cows kept eating their license plates.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Oh, there it is. Woo.
This is Jack's last off-road car. Mark had the twin to this, and then the Banshee that remodeled the kitchen, very similar, built by the same guy. Jim's was a shorter wheelbase, all tubular framing with a mid-engine.
Beautiful. Oh man, and what a room to display it into. This
Yeah.
is great.
So when we were racing in the 70s, we'd go down a few weeks beforehand to pre-run the course because we didn't have GPS systems.
Sure.
So all the little villages in Baja still used the visible gas pumps. And during pre-runs, the racers would stop and put decals all over their gas pumps in their little
Oh,
stations.
right.
So Mark restored that one to look like that.
Awesome. Just beautiful. Let's get a reverse angle on this work of art. Oh, so great.
We have 23 Studebaker. We found the keys to that, so they're in the car.
That's a lot of keys.
Yes, it is.
There you go. Keys made by Mr. Key. Oh, wow. Oh, that is magnificent.
That's a 1930 Oakland. And in 1931, Oakland became Pontiac. I
Awesome.
had 2 docets from the museum up in Sacramento, and they told me it was the parent company of Oldsmobile and Pontiac.
Well, I'll be damned. Look at that. Oh, so great. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, what was the year on this car?
1930.
1930. So cool. Oh, and these super old pumps here. That is crazy.
The red one's called a Mae West pump because of the girlish figure.
There we go.
The
Oh,
wall
yeah.
phone came out of Mark's great grandma's house. I can remember her talking on that when he was a little boy. Watch your step coming up.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a big one. Ah. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, so great.
So this came from
Wow.
Vandenberg Air Force Base. This is
Oh.
a 1939. Mark drove it over here about 40 years or so ago and parked it and built a room around it.
Oh,
Has 5,000 miles on it.
that's amazing. And a working fire truck, yeah?
Yep. There used to be a Studebaker in here that we sold, so then this wall was vacant. It took 2 days and 5 pairs of rubber gloves to wash these cars. My fingers kept popping through the ends.
Oh, and I love this like tufted leather
Yes.
seat. That is great. It's the kind of luxury they don't give firemen these days, unfortunately.
And then this was Mark's car. Mark also raced in this motorhome down in Baja.
Oh, wow.
It went 116 miles an hour off-road.
A motorhome.
Yeah. It had a 5-point harness on the toilet seat.
Oh, beautiful.
This is a 1934 Oldsmobile. This is one that Mark restored, but he did it when our kids were little. So it took about 16 years because we had to buy shoes and food and stuff.
Kids, they get in the way of restoring cars.
Take. So, but it's a good, we used this when Dustin and Lauren got married. They got married in Solvang and then the reception was here. So we brought them back in this and did it for the photo ops between here and there.
That is a royal ride to come back from a wedding in. That is great. Oh.
And these are 1932 plates for every state except Hawaii and Alaska.
Good rules to live by. Oh, yeah.
So one of Jack's nicknames was Cadillac Jack. I knew him since I was in high school, and he always had at least one, usually more than one. This happened to be the last one he had. It's a 1964. He wanted a parade car. They didn't make four-door convertibles in 1964. This was a hardtop.
Wow.
So Mark and Dustin chopped the top off and put a window post out of a two-door. It's a fun cruiser. It's a fun one to drive around. You have to park in RV parking though because it's so long. So that back wall is an ode to Mark's great-grandpa. He was the forest supervisor for the Angeles National Forest for almost 30 years.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
He was
yeah.
instrumental in the Smokey Bear program.
No kidding.
He was the first supervisor to fight fire with aircraft. He used helicopters.
I'll be damned. That's amazing. Oh, great.
This is our son's boat. They live in a townhouse, so his boat's here and his trailer's in the back lot. My car has to park outside. Our fifth wheel is at a friend's house in San Ynez, but Dustin's covered.
That motor looks like it would take you at a pretty good clip.
Yeah. Wow. We had a boat very similar to this, same motor, when the kids were little, and we towed 6 kids behind it one time on skis. It was pretty good.
That's some towing power right there. That is great. We could be standing in a theme park right now. This is so great. So how many of these buildings kind of pre-existed? I mean, it looks like none of this.
The first one we were in was the only building here.
Wow. So is this building the original building on the property?
No, the church.
Oh, the church.
The one
Okay.
we were in first.
Got it.
And then they built this garage, and that was a garage, and then the apartment upstairs for Mark's dad.
Awesome. All right.
It's kind of a hodgepodge room. This is the 23 Studebaker we found the keys to.
Nice.
It's a dual phaeton because it's got a windshield in the back seat and the front seat.
Right. Oh, that's great. Is that a coffin?
Yes,
it is.
This needs to move. I can't demonstrate it. This was a hand-drawn, or 2 guys would pull it instead of horses.
Sure.
There were handles on all the corners, so this would be up for transport. So it wouldn't pull. We got from a guy that used to be in our car club. Didn't have a clue about it, what it is. So a lady that was a soprano singer took a picture and sent to a Steinway guy. And he said it's like an old Rolls Royce of pianos. I still don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
It was built in England in the 1850s.
And is that what they call midgets?
Yeah, there's a quarter midget.
A quarter midget.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
So
and that's like a step down from like a sprint car.
Well, yeah, the midgets are kind of like a sprint car.
Okay.
I think the sprint cars kind of evolved from midgets.
Gotcha.
And this is a quarter of the size because those are for big people. This is for little people.
Right. And this is what he was riding when he was 5.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's great.
This was up in Santa Maria. It happened to be picture day in Mark 1. So this is Mark, his sister, his dad, and this is the trophy that he won.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Wally was the barber. Wally also liked his country club malt liquors. So, and Mark used to get his hair cut when he had to sit on the bench going across the arms.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you didn't go in before noon to get a haircut because Wally was a little shaky. Demonstrate.
But it's really reading the wax cylinder.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't.
Ah.
It must be a little shaky. It's gonna play the whole song before it stops, but it's
Okay.
just. I used to ask people, how did they know where to punch the holes without a computer?
Sure.
Because I did not know.
Oh, wow.
The guy finally told me not long ago that it was a machine that it played it like a piano, but when you hit the key, it would punch a
You
hole.
could stamp into the.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's something about the quality of this sound.
I
it's
know.
Like it's magical.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
so.
That's Original Entertainment Center.
I was gonna say you got your TV,
Yeah.
your LP player, and a little radio tuner.
Yeah.
That
The
is
radio
awesome.
still works.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And it
great.
came with, there's an envelope underneath. It came with like probably 30 pages of call letters.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Right. So you could find.
Yeah.
And what is that? Like a 9-inch black and white.
It's an iPad.
Yeah, exactly.
In here is the Stein song for the University of Maine. So really, they had their own drinking songs? What the heck?
Well, there you go. Who knew?
Yeah, good. You could just see them out there with their beers at the game, cheering the team on. This is the volume control. That's it.
Oh, wow. The
Yeah.
trophy room.
This is like our most museum-like part. So
Yeah.
it starts with his great grandpa in the Forest Service. There's an article about him in the Westways magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
he
one.
started, I think he eventually had 3 camps to get juvenile delinquents off the street and interested in the forestry.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh. It's like a whole lifetime kind of spelled out with all this great memorabilia. Oh, yeah. Look at his helmets and everything.
yeah, so those are for this car. This Roadster is the one that Jack went, he went 207 and got in the 200-mile-an-hour club. You have to break a record. Paul Vanderlee, who's that guy, he went 210.5. It was the Green Monster when he had it, and then our friend bought it, and it's down, I think, at the Peterson Museum now.
Oh, nice. With another museum I love to
Yeah.
death. The place is great. Ah, so great. Oh, yeah. That's a very cool little model of the.
That's the, shoot, probably says it on it. Speed Demon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Pete and Mains. That's the first car that was not a jet engine to go over 500 miles an hour.
No
That's the
kidding.
Turbinator, because it's got turbines in it, twin turbines.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, here's the other picture.
Whoa.
Broad magazines from 1948.
Wow. Oh, that's great. How many? So, is it still published?
Yeah, I just picked one up at the post office last week. So this is just future projects and storage.
Oh, nice. The workshop. Oh, yeah.
This is storage.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some future projects.
Beautiful old pumps. Yeah. Oh, look at these. Wow. What are these?
Those are called high boys. Those were bulk oil. So an oil truck, you'd have this at a station, and you'd move this. Well, some of them work. You'd move that over to the side, and then crank the oil into these. So that's when you were green. You used the same bottles over and over. You didn't just throw them away.
Let's get the dynamo going and see what
Exactly.
kind of horsepower we got here. That is super cool. Oh, wow. This is great.
The soprano lady, she did some research for me on that too, and she said originally their mascot was a gargoyle, which was not too kid friendly. So
No.
they changed to Harvey. He's got little flipper tails on the backside.
Definitely more charming.
Yeah, I bought it new in 67, and did what everybody did. Mark had it in 65 in high school, and put the teardrop on the hood and the scoop in the back. It came with a 390 in it, He drove it around town, raced around town for a couple years, and then he put a 427 in it, took it to Bonneville.
Nice.
It went 165 on the salt.
Oh,
Then he
nice.
drove it home and parked it in his barn. 35 years later, we got it. It had 10,060 miles on it. It's all pretty much original. We repainted it because it had oxidized. We did put new carpet in because the mice and birds had been living in it for 35 years.
Sure.
So it was pretty stinky. Which lights up at night too.
Oh, that's great.
During cocktail hour one time, oh maybe 4 or 5 years ago, Mark said, I wonder how many light bulbs were down. So got a clipboard and we walked around and counted. At that time it was 1,097. So it's
Throughout the
over-
whole property.
Yeah, it's over 1,100 now.
That
So
is
when everything's turned on, the
incredible.
meter spins pretty big.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it's great. Oh man, so much fun. Look at these old pumps for the different lubricants and stuff. Oh, part of the Richfield mythos. Yeah. Oh, and look at this sign. It's so great.
Yeah. Jack named his car Sally the Salt Dancer. But they built these in Denver, Colorado. Starkey was the guy's last name. It's the first coin-operated self-serve pump.
Oh, wow.
It did quarters, half dollars, and silver dollars.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, it's pretty
And what year do we think this came out?
1925.
1925.
It's like a cork. So you could go in and say, I don't want 5 gallons. I only want 3. They would drop this down and that little cork would bob up. I thought it said to tank, but it looked like it said to storage. It would go back down in the ground, the top two gallons, and then it would bob up to car. When it got down, and you paid 3 gallons. He did an article about us for the Santa Barbara News Press, and one of her mistakes is that Mark paid $42,000 for this pump. He said, yeah, I'd have a remodeled bathroom if you did that. But one like it, only it was in Texaco colors, went off at Sotheby's for that much several years ago.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Just love it.
He restored it to be very much like it was when his dad built it. This was basically the workhorse of the force of all the tow trucks. Mark said he probably put 40,000 miles on this in high school.
Wow.
Because you could
In
drive a
high
tow truck
school.
when you were 16 then.
No kidding.
Yeah, you have to be 21 now, I think.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, because he sells some pretty gruesome stuff.
I love the smell of an
Everybody
automotive
says
workshop.
that.
It's got
Go
that
for a walk,
great,
oh, it smells like my grandpa's garage.
right? Yeah, it just triggers good memories.
It's also a cell phone cemetery.
Indeed it is. Oh, that's great. That Richfield sign, gosh, that is
Yeah.
spectacular. Ah. But that burns up some electricity.
Yeah.
But that is so beautiful.
Three
Ah.
or 4 colors on it. There's yellow, no, not yellow, white, red, and blue, I think.
Ah, so great.
The signs over there, they were on gas pumps before decals.
Oh, nice, yeah. And I love the big old Royal tire.
That is, somebody gave that to Misty for her 40th birthday. It was a Ferris wheel at the 1964
I was
World
just
Series.
going to say.
I mean, not World Series,
the
World's Fair.
Yeah, and then you've got
At
the
New
toy
York,
of it.
yeah.
Oh, so great.
So there was a guy here that he had just seen a documentary on it. He said the tire is now in front of the Royal Tire Company, but it's not a Ferris wheel anymore.
Oh, look at that. Oh, man. That is a beauty. Oh,
Yeah. So this venue of racing, unlike others, you want your car to be heavy. There's 2 pipes underneath. They each have 600 pounds of lead in them. And then on the trunk deck, they put little movers in it, because at 185 it would work like an airplane wing and lift it off the ground.
oh my goodness.
Not a good thing.
No, no. Don't want to get airborne at that speed in a car.
So in order to go 200 miles an hour, you have to go in increments and get your licenses. You start at 125, 150, 175, and then to 200. Jack got his A license on August 20th, 86. Mark got his August 20th, 96.
That's cool. Well, there you go. That was Mendenhall's Museum. Such a fantastic place. So great, so highly recommended. And again, as you can see with the sign, it's by appointment only. And it's $15, but you get anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half look around inside this incredible place. So do check it out. And that's it for this one.